Hey, this is Brian Fagan, Solution Engineer in Retail and Consumer Goods. Wanted to give you guys a quick overview of an application that David Scruggs and I have been working on. It is called Store Occupancy Management. Effectively, with COVID-19, retail stores are working hard to keep consumers and their associates safe by limiting the number of people that are allowed in the store at one particular time. Keeping up with capacity, occupancy, total traffic is difficult for stores, and reporting on stores, regions, or at the area level is impossible unless the data around occupancy and capacity is tracked across all stores in a single application. So with this application, we've set out to provide a simple user interface for tracking things like store capacity and occupancy from both the Lightning experience and the Salesforce mobile app for store associates. The application enables companies to do things like define their store locations, set capacity and thresholds for each location, track entrances and exits for real-time occupancy, track total daily entrances and total daily exits for an overall view of store traffic, track the date, time, and number in the party, and the visit action, we call it, which is how many people have either entered or exited a particular store location at a given time, and then ultimately a couple of standard reports that can be used to track things like real-time occupancy and capacity, and then also kind of foot traffic over time. And so I'll give you guys a quick overview of the app, and there's also some instructions on how you can really deploy this into any Salesforce org. So effectively, you can see on the screen in the Lightning experience, I have a store record, 123 Main Street, California, and that store has a capacity of 25 people at any given time. Right now, there are 18 people in the store, which means that we're 72% occupied. You'll also see that down below we have a store visit, basically detail record. So every time someone enters or exits the store, effectively what we do is create a record here in store visits, and then we increment this occupancy counter one way or another. Additionally, we track total daily entrances and total daily exits within the store. So you can get a running total of, maybe there's only 18 people in the store today, but over the course of the day, we've had 31 unique visitors to our location. You'll see here a Lightning component, occupancy and capacity tracker, where a store associate could simply click and add people to the store. So let's say 3 people come in, then we've got a single shopper, and then maybe 2 people leave the store. And so those updates effectively are creating the store visit records here, as well as updating our occupancy and our capacity numbers that you see on the left, right? Now we've actually exceeded our occupancy, or we have got 23 of 25 people, so we no longer can check in 3, but we can check in 2. And if we check in one more person, you can see now we only can let one more person in the store. If we remove 3 people from the store, we now have those buttons kind of enabled. You'll see all of those detail records, like I mentioned here, kind of getting written in detail. And then additionally here, if we were to kind of refresh our chart component, you'll see over time how we're kind of visualizing foot traffic as people come in and leave the store over time. Okay, so that's kind of the Lightning experience, kind of end user experience. From a store manager, there's also some capabilities around store resets. So you can imagine here at lunchtime, if a store were going to shut down for an hour, they would want to empty the store, which is basically mass checkout, let's say 11 people who are shopping, and then create those individual balance transactions down below. So this will actually reset our occupancy to 0 and write those transactions. And then we also have another mass action, which is closed store and balance visits. That one actually resets our occupancy to 0, and it also resets our total daily entrances and exits. You could think about that function being something that would be done at the end of the day when a store closes and needs to be reset for the next morning. Those jobs also run in batch, so at the end we actually have a batch job that runs that closed store action and resets all stores back to 0 at the end of the day. And then the next piece of this would be the mobile front end. So here you can see from a mobile standpoint, we have a store occupancy manager tab. We have a search box where your store associate could search for the store that they're currently working in. We surface that same Lightning component. And with this Lightning component, your associates effectively could use that user interface to track capacity. And what you'll note is this Lightning component is actually enabled with the streaming API, or I think it's change data capture and streaming. Dave can talk to the technical details a little bit better than I can. But effectively, when the store associate checked those people in, you'll notice how in the Lightning experience, the agent desktop can no longer be used to let anyone else in the store. And that would also stream across other mobile devices as well. So imagine having two people checking folks in at the same time. We do our best to try to keep those capacity numbers correct by streaming those events across both devices.